Alright, let's settle in, my digital entrepreneurs. So you're probably a head of e-commerce or you own an e-commerce store. And I know you're juggling 1,000 things. And you probably have no idea what is the most important thing to do right now, or what is the reason that you're watching this video, procrastinating for an important task, or just have any idea of how to improve your business, how to grow it. From trying to figure out the latest algorithmic change or trying to make a viral content video, there are so many things you can focus on. And maybe you're staring down a barrel thinking that, oh my God, I have increased shipping costs, I have tariffs on my head, and there are so many things going wrong in my business. And you might be thinking, okay, can I just skip the basics and get to real work inside of my business? Well, in order for your business to thrive, you have to understand and work on your business first. And let me tell you the truth, the boring, not so sexy, but you need to pay attention truth. The basics are everything. Without understanding the basics of e-commerce, the basics of growing your business online, you're probably in the position you're in right now, with lowest margins possible and with a lot of tasks on your hand. We're not going to talk about a new trend or an AI model that has come out. We're going to tell about real three things that are the most fundamental things you can ever think about, that you have to get down now, you have to understand them, implement in your everyday activities, and help your team understand what they're focusing on and why all of this matters, and for some reason it works. Funnel. So, people are looking at your product, they're seeing your Facebook ads, they're looking at your website on Google Ads, for example, and they're looking at your product. But what they're doing, are they just browsing like in a museum, or are they actually on your website doing the things that we want them to do? Adding to cart, adding to favorites, starting checkout, maybe even purchasing something. You need to understand that funnels dictate of how the customer works from the top to the most basic thing of sales. So without the funnels, you cannot really understand what is going on in your business. And if you still don't have it, there are so many things that you can do in Shopify, in WordPress, in Google Analytics, in Post Hoc, anywhere. You can basically start and take your funnel without having anything right now in a matter of an hour. And you have to do it right now, because without having understanding of it, you're basically like a blind kitty who cannot really understand where he's going or why he's going this way. You can only focus on those three things. Is first of all, how many impressions you get on your ads or on your product. So that's, for example, hits of views on your Facebook ads. It is amount of people trafficking on the website or on the, for example, a landing page that you have created. And at the same time, it's amount of people who can see your outdoor ad, for example, if you're doing old paid advertising offline. Then you have to understand the next most important thing is people who added to cart. And it might seem like something very basic, the same as traffic, but when a person adds something to cart, that not only shows his interest in buying, but it as well shows that he is actually willing to go further one step, and you have the right audience, the right product that people are considering buying, but for some reason not going one last step. And the last, most important thing that you can optimize everything for, and nothing else matters, is sales. So, of course, you know sales are important, but do you know the benchmark of impressions to cart, from cart to sales, and how much is it in your industry? Do you know your competitors' rates? Do you know what your rate is? If you don't, then once again, you are not really understanding the funnel correctly. You're not operating it correctly, you're not using it correctly. And it all might seem like it's super basic, but let me tell you, we're working with tens of clients in e-commerce and driving them to insane values in millions of dollars. You will be surprised on how many of them don't even know about the funnel, don't even track it, or they might have it in one of the databases like Google Analytics or something, but no one looks at it. And how they're choosing which ad to choose, I don't know. They're just doing that. And for me, it was a surprise. And I hope that if you take one thing away from this video, if it's to check your funnel now and to understand the basic benchmarks in the world. If you don't know it, go to ChatGPT, ask it, what are the benchmarks for amount of money spent on impressions, amount of carts, add to cart, to your impressions, and amount of sales to impressions and to add it to cart. You can always go in depth, and we might talk about in the next video about CPA, CPM, and things like that. But for now, only do this, understand the basics, why it matters, and let's go to the second point, your offer. And I have to say, it's more than just a price tag. Okay, so you got people visiting your website and seeing your ads and looking at your product. But what are they looking at? Are they just considering the product by the price? Are they looking at the color of the product? Well, let me break it down to you that they're looking at everything. In your offer, everything matters. And sometimes the most insignificant thing you can think about, like a color of a button, can change your conversion rate, the amount of impressions to a sales, by tenfold. And I'm not over-exaggerating. That's actually how it works. And you have to understand that in order to grow your e-commerce, you have to look at your offer and test it continuously. Yeah, that's what it means. If you have tens of thousands of products, why do you have so many? Are you not able to focus on a little set of them and really drill down your pricing, your offer and everything? If you have a huge selection, do you have the availability of the most popular and important products in your page? Well, okay, let's say, for example, you have 3 products. What you have to do is you have to test every week the design of the web page, the design of the actual photos, the buttons, the price, where the price is, how the sizes work, what are the size chart, and many more, like titles, description, and everything else. But let's start simple, right? Let's just test the price. Increase the price by $5, for example. If the product costs 25, make it 30. And then the next week, put it down to 20. If you can afford, test it, see how it works. If the customer is still buying, how is the conversion rate? Change the ads, check to change your offer, and see how it goes. Most of us in e-commerce just stick a price and never look back, never check it, never change it, and never test it. So for me, offer is one of the most important things on the e-commerce. And I mean, for services, it's the same thing. You have to test it and understand what works and what doesn't. The third part, delivery and retention. So you've got a sale, you got a purchase, high five, I'm really proud of you. So now, I will not stress it enough, the most important thing happens is the delivery, the packaging, and the retention. What you need to do is to deliver it very fast, with the best packaging you can, with the best service you can, and make sure you follow up and make this customer come back to purchase more. It's one of the most fundamental things, and many businesses drop the ball here. So seamless delivery. You need to make delivery to any village in any part of the world which you serve as easy as possible. Talk to the best companies, try to argue with the best rates you can, with the best delivery dates you can, with the best packaging, with the best couriers you can, in order to drive the customer to love the delivery process, to be fast, adjustable, really understand where the package is at any moment in time. And at the same time, you need to give the best customer service. I don't care how expensive a customer service of 7 days a week is, but if your customer is not getting a reply 1 hour after he left you an email or a chat message, you already messed up somewhere. First of all, he's not supposed to have any questions. Second of all, there should be FAQ and a chatbot that answers all of them. And thirdly, come on, you need the sales. You're the businessman, and every time your customer is not getting a reply 1 hour after he left it, he's basically leaving for your competitor, who will answer completely and will answer fast. And also at the same time, you're getting a refund. It's really bad because you lost money on delivery, you lost money on everything. And it's just the worst feeling ever. And customer support not only allows you to answer the questions, but also to upsell. In most cases, when I actually myself talk to customers for one reason or another, I make sure to ask them, okay, what are you buying the thing for? If, for example, it's a tripod, why not upsell them a light, maybe a mic, maybe a camera even? There are many things you can do in any industry. In fashion, if you're buying a dress, it just makes sense to buy heels. If you're buying a hat, why you're not buying a bag or a belt with it? So upselling in customer support is just the most important thing you can do. And that's not only how you build a loyal customer base. In our world of e-commerce and marketing, I don't think there are many markets and many products that have a retention that allow them to have a retention of 1. What is retention of 1? Having a customer coming back only once and never again, or even buying a one time. So for example, where it makes sense, retail agency. Agency that sells or lends out a retail space, or for example, rental agency which rents out an apartment for someone, especially for students. Probably the student won't come back for a second rental, right? Probably most people who buy a home will not buy another one, right? Retention is quite low. But if you're selling, I don't know, coffee, if your retention is 1, you're out of the market already. because acquiring the customer probably costs 5 times the amount you earn from a single bag of coffee. And what you have to do is you have to make sure this customer comes back 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And what you have to do? Email, help him with content, help him with understanding how to use the product. Make sure it's really good quality for the price he pays. Give him some free things like, I don't know, content you can reproduce, software, some similar things he can do. Maybe he sees a blogger using your product and he falls in love or remembers your product again. Make sure you do everything to make your customer come back. Delivery and retention isn't just logistical things. You have to nail them down in order to make work in this e-commerce, because operators right now need to be as strong as possible if they want to survive. Because let me tell you, AI and many other things have made it much more difficult for big players to stay ahead, but at the same time made it so much easier for small, agile, young guys to create e-commerces who can compete with big giants. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, watch this video about how to grow your business effectively.